my friends, it's Bella and welcome to my thought on a Sunday. If you're new here, new to my channel, I am mostly a beauty, makeup, skincare channel, but just recently I've started to do an extra video on a Sunday, and it's loosely based on scripture that about something that I've been thinking about that week, or something that's sort of been in my mind or I've thought of. It is loosely based on the scriptures, and I just wanted to share that with you every week. So if you're new, that's where I am and what I am, and I hope you enjoy all of my content. Thank you for coming, and all my friends, thank you for coming. So let's get on. So my thought this week is based on Isaiah 43:18, and the scripture is, don't look back to the former things, they've passed away, don't think about them. And this is something that in my own life I wish I'd learned so much earlier. I wish I could really feel that, I felt that, let those things pass away much earlier than I did. I've shared with you before, although I don't think so for some time now, I've shared with you bits of my past and bits of who I am. And I'm not always confident to talk about that, but I think I am now. I think I'm okay to talk about some of it anyway. My past for so long dictated the person that I was. My father was a very, very hard man, and he was a narcissist. And if any of you know anything about narcissists, you know the how difficult that is, because it's not just an out and out bully, or someone that you can see obviously. My father was a covert narcissist, which means nobody really could see it. Nobody could see it. He was very admired outside the home, very, very admired. He was an officer in the Royal Navy, and he would be absolutely charming to everybody. But how he would make me and my mother feel, and the self-worth he gave us by how he treated us, was unbelievable. But nobody could see that. Nobody would know that, because he was so clever. Narcissists are very, very clever. In later years, I really wished, and I do now, but being 65, coming up 65, I think it's probably a bit late, but if I'd had my time over again, as the saying goes, I'd love to have gone into psychology. I'd love to go into the way people think, and, to be able to help them. This is not a woe is me story. This is far from a woe is me story. Because now, in my life now, a lot of the things that happened to me back then have made me the person that I am now. And although it was quite a hard road to walk down to recover from that, I don't regret it, because I think I'm a better person because of it. I've got a lot more understanding of other people. I've got a lot more empathy for people. And, if I can be used, or if I can help someone else, then, and that's, my training, if you like, has not been official training, but from my life experiences, then, that's a gift. And I'm glad that I can do that, and that I can help other people like that. But that's taken time to get to that point. When I left home, and I left home fairly early, and you've got to remember back then it's very different. In late 60s, early 70s, life was very, very different for a woman. Now you think, well, why don't why didn't my mother just up and leave? But the circumstances were very, very different back then. And it was harder for a woman to do that. And for a lot of times I was angry with her for not, as I got older, I was angry, why didn't you up and leave? And, but now I'm older, I look at it and I think I understand a little bit more. Leaving and getting out of a marriage that you're not happy with, I know, I've done it. I know that, it's hard and it's heartbreaking, but it happens, and it's a lot of the time it's the best thing to do. You get out, you leave, you both get on with your lives, and wish each other the best, and that's it. That's it. But you can't do that with a narcissist. You can't leave a narcissist. I'm not a professional. I am not a professional. But I know now what the outcome would have been if my mother had left my father, and what would have been the repercussions for me if my mother had have left my father. And because I'm older and I'm wiser. But basing it on the scripture, don't look back, I did for a long, long time, and it really dictated the person I was for a long, long time. I didn't trust. I didn't, I got out of anything that I thought was anything like a situation that my mother would have been in. I never give a lot of things a chance, because of fear. I was just so fearful of being in that relationship, in being like that again. And if any of you know anything about narcissistic behaviour and how they manipulate, they are absolutely king of manipulators, and people just don't see. And I couldn't go to anyone and say, this is how my father is treating me, or this is how my mother and I have been treated, because my father would have already been there and told them what we were. It was really, really hard. It was really hard. And I tried many, many times just to get that rebuffing all the time. And I can see her, now I can see that. And I understand her. But I'm sorry, again, I don't want to look back. I'm sorry it did affect so much of my life. I wish I'd seen earlier that very, very few people are like that. That, that he was an unusual person. And although, narcissistic behaviour is very common, it's still very unusual. The majority of people are good people. But if you've been brought up by that and know nothing but that, as you get older, you'll meet different people in your life, and you'll recognise that sort of behaviour or whatever, and but when you're 5, 6, 7, 8, you don't know what's going on. You don't understand that, and suddenly you go into school and your friends are not talking to you. Why aren't my friends talking to me? And you don't realise what their minds and how they work and I didn't realise that about my dad. I didn't. What I wanted deep down was for my dad to love me, and I didn't understand why he wanted to hurt me. I didn't get that. But now I'm not that. I'm a very different person. But I had to walk down quite a rocky road to get to that. And I did at one point in my life. I had to have counselling about it, and you know, I hold my hands up. I'm not ashamed of that, um, because it was a horrible situation. It was played with our minds, and the self doubt you get. You know, the self doubt is unbelievable. And I still, to this day, I still don't have confidence. But I know that I'm the best person that I try to be the best person that I can be. And now, much later in life, I try to use those experiences to strengthen myself and to strengthen people that I can help. And that's a gift. That's a gift. I know now a lot of people will come to me and, you know, and talk to me, and I feel honoured that people will open up to me. I do. I feel honoured. But would I be that person? And would I be able to understand if those things hadn't happened to me? I don't know. I don't know. I think it moulded the adult I become, but my early adulthood, it was very different. It was just very, very fearful, and looking back all the time. As Isaiah 43 says, don't look back. Don't dwell on the former things. But I did. For a long, long, long time in my life, I did. And because I did, there was a wall. And it's still a wall to a certain extent. I still can have a bit of a wall that I have to fight against, but there was a constant wall, and no one was going to get in, because no one was going to make me feel like he made me feel. And you know, I'd lost my mum by then, and you know, no one was going to make me feel like that. Certainly no man was going to make me feel like that, you know. And I'd have, you know, relationships or friendships or, you know, work colleagues, and the minute I saw, or what I thought to be, manipulation, I was going up the wall then, and I was gone, because it was a fear. It was a constant wall, and every day my life was never be like that again, never be like that again. But it was constantly looking back, because ahead of me there were so many nice people, and there are so many nice people. And you know, I'm married to a good man, and I've got a lovely family, I've got lovely friends, you know. But the wall, for a long time, the wall was so high that those people would never have got in. I think now I don't look back. If I do look back, I kind of feel sorry for that little girl, you know. I feel sorry for that little girl that felt all those things that no little girl should have to feel. But I don't feel sorry for myself, because I think it's made me better. It's made me the person that I am. It's made me stronger, and it's given me the gift of being able to help others. And that's priceless. That is priceless. To come on here and be able to say this to you on social media, to be able to say this to you, I could never have imagined in a million years even saying to anybody, you know, about my father or what he was and what happened to my life. I could never have said it to anybody, let alone say it here. But now, because I'm older and wiser, and as I said, I did go through counselling many years ago, and I've learnt the difference between a victim and a perpetrator, that I can hold my head up, you know. I can hold my head up, and I don't have to be frightened of other people anymore. it's given me wisdom to recognise certain things. Yes, it has. It's given me wisdom and, you know, sort of not understanding, because sometimes some things you just can't understand, but it's made me less angry in my life. I was quite an angry young woman. I've always been quite warm. I've always been very open with people and very honest with people, but I was angry for a long while, and very frightened for a long while. And a lot of that was because, like I said in Isaiah 43, I look back, I dwell on the things of the past, and I don't do that anymore. Now I do the things I have to do and I move on. And I appreciate the immense amount of love that's in my life, you know, and I'm really, really happy with that. But if I could give anybody advice, and I'm no professional, I'm nobody to give any advice, but to dwell too much on the past, it upsets you, and it honestly can spoil things for your future, because you've got that wall up. You've got that fear that hurt's going to happen again. And it's so hard to say don't dwell on the past. It is, because, you know, if things have really, really hurt you, it's just really hard not to dwell on them. You know, there's my father. I'm a parent. You know, I would give my arms for my children and my grandchildren. You know, you look back, how can a father possibly, you know, want to inflict those feelings on his own child? But that's looking back again, and I don't want to do that. I want to do that. I'm just grateful that I'm not like that. I'm grateful that the lessons that I've learned from it, and acceptance that, you know, that was the type of man he was. And, you know, the friends that he could manipulate couldn't have been my friends, you know. And I've come through life, you know, and learnt the hard way. Yes, I've learnt the hard way, but I'm still glad that I did. I'm still glad that I'm that person, you know, that that can feel for other people, because feeling for other people is so important. It's so important, and it gives you a lot more joy than having that loving wall up there for years. So that's my take on my thought on the week on Isaiah 43, 18. Don't look back and don't dwell on the past. So I hope that's helped you a little bit, and I hope you understand where I'm coming from. I don't want these to be miserable, because I'm a really happy little go-lucky girl. And I just wanted to share some things with you, because, you know, for those of you that know me, I get such lovely comments, and you say such kind things to me, and I appreciate it so much. I do. I appreciate everything you say to me. And, you know, I've got a lovely life. I love my Baz and my Rebecca, and, you know, my grandchildren and my Emma, and I love my family, you know, and Jeanette and Chris and my friends, and I love them. They're very, very dear to me, and I'm lucky, and I am really, really blessed. So, smiles for me, please. I'll see you again in my next video. Please give me a thumbs up if you like my videos, guys, and subscribe. As I said, if you've just come for the first time, this is just an extra video I put out on a Sunday. I'm actually part of the beauty community, part of the mature beauty community, which I love, and there's lovely ladies there as well if you're interested in mature beauty. So, you know, subscribe and stick around and see what I've got for you. Thanks for coming, guys, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye bye. Bye bye.